Hi, and welcome to Transaction TV. My name is Anthony Atanasio. I'm your host. I'm the CEO of Hawk Strategies. And joining me today is my good friend, Parth, Assistant Commissioner of Capital Program Management for the New Jersey Department of Transportation. Parth, welcome to Transaction TV.
Thank you very much for having me, Anthony.
No, it's a pleasure. And, we always talk, you, me, John Case, the Assistant Commissioner Club.
Yeah.
Once you've been in AC, you're always in AC.
Yep.
So, we've been rooting for you. It's ironic, you first got to the department and you started in operations, actually under Assistant Commissioner Andrew Tenard.
Yes. Yep.
Talk to us a little bit about your career at the department, because you became the youngest Assistant Commissioner in CPM history. So talk to us a little bit about your time at the DOT.
Sure. So I started out as a trainee. Prior to joining the DOT, I worked for a contractor for a year and a half. And, I was out in the field building projects, and I learned a lot about union labor, schedule, productivity,
Sure.
profit. And that was all great stuff, but I really wanted to do something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So I came to the department, started from the bottom as an engineer trainee. Working in operations really gave me the exposure to the infrastructure in the state of New Jersey, because one day I could be working on a bridge in Cape May. The next day I could be in Sussex County. I could be in Belmar. I could be in Newark. So I really got to travel the state and really get a firsthand look at the bridges that we're responsible for. And I love that part, right? You get to see the magic happen real time out in the field, working with contractors, designers, local officials. And that really kind of energized me to the mission of what the DOT is all about. So I worked in operations for about 8 years in various different roles. I was always eager to learn, try something different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was not the person that would just do one thing and then just keep doing that
Groundhog
one thing.
Day, you're happy to just keep doing it
Yeah.
forever, right?
I need to kind of branch out, and I took advantage of that opportunity that was given to me from my leadership. I spent some time in the training units. Our assistant commissioner at the time, we had a brand new training program that was being established, so I kind of led that for some time. And then I moved around within operations for some time before I came over to the capital program management side in my current role as assistant commissioner.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And like I mentioned, I used to joke, oh, I was the youngest assistant commissioner because I became assistant commissioner at 30, but you became assistant commissioner at 31?
31, yes.
31, but I had 36 people. And how big is CPM?
1,335
yeah,
people.
so I think you had slightly more responsibilities than I did, and you've done an incredible job.
Yeah.
I represent, John Case and I at Hawk represent a lot of contractors, engineers, and folks in the industry, but the contractors specifically said that you've done an incredible job of evening out the pentameter of project letting.
Right.
One of the biggest issues you talked about, having worked for a contractor and understanding, and that's something we appreciate in the industry, your appreciation of that it's a balance,
right,
and that both sides need to be successful for either to succeed. Because when a contractor is not profitable, right, it's going to lead to worse pricing for you.
Right.
So when projects are a feast and famine in the lettings, contractors don't have the predictability they need on their bids. You have put out an even pentameter of work, which I'm not here to say way to go for the contractors. You're getting better pricing and better projects.
It's a win-win for everybody, yes.
Yeah. And that's because of your leadership. So it's been refreshing having you in CPM.
Thanks.
So that's an improvement you made to CPM. If you could, talk about some of the other opportunities for modernization, efficiency, greater technology implementation, some of the things you're doing looking forward for the unit.
Sure. I think technology is a big part of what we do. When I talk to staff, colleagues, and we talk about a software, and they tell me, well, we're currently using version 8 of something. The rest of the world is using version 23. It's not a matter of 1 or 2 versions. We're 15 versions behind. Right. So really focusing on the technology to help us do our jobs better, right? At the end of the day, our mission is to deliver an infrastructure that's in a state of good repair and that serves the public. Right. Funding is a big component of how we deliver the projects, but if we expect to keep doing things the way we've always done, we're not going to be successful in accomplishing that mission. So there's always opportunity to look at technology, look at innovative methods of delivering work, thinking outside the box, looking at what other state DOTs do. And as part of AASHTO, we call it R&D, rip off and duplicate. So if somebody else does it better, we're going to rip it off.
That's great. I mean, and we said, on the VIP panel we did together before, New Jersey has been an innovator over the years, on and off, and but not all of the great ideas have been created here in New Jersey.
Right.
So you're helping lead an effort that we're working with you on to create a collaborative dialogue with PennDOT
Yep.
to discuss materials, construction, constructability, and
Right.
figuring it to your point. We want to take the best things that they do and bring them here.
Right.
We want them to take the best things we do and take them there, and then everything else they can keep, right?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so,
Yep.
no, that's exciting. And one of the other things you've taken a lead on is alternate project delivery.
Yeah.
Design build, while not a new concept to the human race, is
Right.
newer to New Jersey.
Yes. Yep.
And you have been the first assistant commissioner to truly bring in
Yeah.
design build to the department. Talk a little bit about design build and also anything else that might be new and creative going forward.
Sure. So the governor, we got legislative authority to use that as a procurement vehicle in 2021. And then there's some legislative processes that had to happen, rules had to get established. And part of doing that, like you said, it's not new to the country or the world, right? Other states have done this. So we really looked at what other states were doing. We looked at what Federal Highway was doing to really learn the best practices. And as you suggested with PennDOT, take bits and pieces of what works in one state, another state, what works here in New Jersey, put it all together. And the biggest part of this was collaboration with the industry. Yeah. It's new to the department. It's not necessarily new to the consulting partners or the contracting partners that have done this work elsewhere.
Right.
So we had a big forum with over 300 participants from the contracting industry and the consulting industry. We put them all in the room and kind of went through what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is our process. This is what we've come up with. What are your thoughts? When we received some great feedback, and we've kind of taken that to advance our program. And as far as the pipeline goes, we have 3 projects currently in the pipeline that we've publicly announced. The first project is the Route 50 bridge over Cedar Swamp Creek, which we're pretty imminently close to announcing the firm that's going to help us deliver that project.
Right.
The second project is the Route 9W bridge replacement project, and then the Route 295 project. So there's a steady pipeline.
Yeah.
It's not a one and done. But we're also taking it slow and steady, right? We want to learn from our mistakes. Right. We may make mistakes,
sure,
but it's important to learn from them and incorporate them into the next project. And one of the key things that I had learned from talking to my colleagues outside of the state and the industry is you need a specialized group of people to deliver these projects.
Right.
You can't have a person doing a regular design bid build project one day, and then the next day they're working on a design build project. So we created a unit for alternative project delivery, and those are the folks that are really driving our program.
It's exciting, and you're creating subject matter expertise within the unit that can then be taught and passed down, and so you're only inventing the wheel once.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, we like that. We like that.
Yeah.
So one issue that we all always deal with every year, all the time in our lives, is funding.
Yes.
Right. There's years where our federal funding's up, but our state is down. Our state is up, and federal's down. Every once in a while, we get a magic like we've just had. Period of sustainable state and federal funding.
Right.
But the federal surface transportation funding mechanism is about to lapse.
Yep.
What are you thinking? What are you planning for? What's the department doing with funding?
Right. I think the key word there is predictability, right? Like, as you suggested, when we know how much money we're getting for the next 5 years, we can do a better job of planning our work, prioritizing. And IIJ, the federal transportation bill that's expiring this year, allowed us to deliver the record programs that the department has delivered over the last few years. Over $1 billion in construction awards and $400 to $500 million plus in professional service awards. We're hoping that the next bill is at the same levels, if not greater, than what the last 5 years were. And there's a lot of advocacy that our commissioner is, heavily involved in through multiple channels, through organizations like AASHTO, ACEC, and other organizations to really push for why we need this funding in order to succeed.
Well, it's exciting. It's an exciting time. There's World Cup's coming. There's massive capital programs being delivered by all the agencies. There's a renewed energy from a new governor who seems to really be looking at us as a transportation network, not as individual agencies. What are you most excited for? What are you looking as far as the future? Where would you like to see things go, and where would you like to help drive it to?
Yeah, so I think the notion of one transportation network is pretty interesting. I work in my current role, right? I have my responsibilities with my professional work, but I'm also a resident. I drive the roads. My family drives the roads. They tell me what they see that's not right. Sure. I get all the feedback, and I'm the first to know. Right? Because don't you work at DOT? Can't you fix that part?
Oh yeah.
So So that concept is really interesting. The whole one transportation network, regardless of the agencies, regardless of mode, right? Folks are here at this conference from all over the world.
Yep.
And they probably use multiple modes to get here. They didn't really think about, oh, well, this agency is responsible for this piece, then it's up to this agency,
Right.
and then the city is responsible, the county. So it's the whole of transportation thought process that I think is interesting,
And that's great. And we appreciate your leadership, this being the 50th anniversary of Transaction, a major milestone for us. And Chris Calori was just sitting in the chair that you're sitting in. And then what you just alluded to, which is that the governor's looking at it, you're looking at it, this community behind us is everyone.
Right.
Road, rail, bridge, bike, ped,
everything,
paratransit, right? This is one community. So what all this discussion is, well, it's one transportation network too.
Right.
And that's really encouraging. And having a young, thoughtful leader like yourself helping lead one of the agencies, that's really exciting for us. We know Commissioner Jane relies on you, as does the industries. And so we want to thank you for your leadership. I want to thank you for your friendship. And thank you for being here and being such an active participant in our conference.
Yeah, happy to be here. And thanks again, Anthony, for having me here.
Always a pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Assistant Commissioner Parth of the New Jersey Department of Transportation. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Transaction TV.